Fraction of amounts are very similar to fraction of shapes. You need to understand both of them in order to be able to solve these sorts of questions. Questions such as this often come up. It says an apple is shared equally between two boys. What fraction does one boy get? What you could do is you could visualise the problem, so therefore you could, to the best of your ability, draw yourself an apple. Okay, now you know that it says it's shared equally, so therefore as there are two boys you need two pieces. That means the two pieces become your denominator, and as the apple is to be shared equally, one boy will get one of those pieces. So therefore an apple is shared equally between two boys. What fraction does one boy get? Well, one boy will get a half. Sometimes you are actually finding a fraction of an amount. For example, in this question it says, what is half of 100? Well, in this case, we know from the denominator that we need to divide the half into two equal pieces. So therefore we are going to complete the sum 100 divided by 2. 100 divided by 2 is actually going to give us 50. Because the numerator tells us that we only need one of those parts, therefore 50 is half of 100. A quick way of remembering it is that you divide by the denominator, and then whatever the answer is, you would then times by the numerator. Other questions such as this one where it says Jim ate 2/3 of his lunch. What fraction is left? Well, we could visualize it and draw Jim's lunch. So we're going to divide it into 3 parts. We know it's 3 because the denominator tells us there are 3 parts to his lunch. Apparently he ate 2/3 of them, so 2 of the 3, which means that this part is still left for him to eat. So therefore 1/3 is left. This sort of fraction of amount question, it says 16 is half of 32, 34 or 36. Well, we know if 16 is actually half, so say there's a whole one there, now it could be 32, it could be the number 34, it could be the number 36. Now if we split these into half, 16 is supposed to fit into one of these, so we'd have to find out which one it is. If each half is worth 16, then both halves is going to be one of these numbers, so we would then add them together. 10 plus 10, 10 plus 10 is 20, 6 plus 6 is 12, which would give us 32. So actually 32 is going to be the number that 16 is half of, because 32 here is different to 34 and 32 here is different to 36. In this question it asks how many lollipops in 1/4 of 16 lollipops. So we're finding a fraction of amount. The amount we have is 16 and the fraction we are trying to find is 1/4. So therefore if we use the rules of before, we divide the amount by the denominator first of all, so 16 divided by 4, well, that's your 4 times table, 4, 8, 12, 16, so that's 4. And then we times by the numerator, so 4 times 1 is 4. So how many lollipops in 1/4 of 16 lollipops? There are actually 4 lollipops to be found if they were divided into 4 equal parts. This question reads 12 points were scored. Gary scored 3. What fraction of the total did he score? In this case, we've actually been given the number of amount, which was 12. We've then been given how much of the amount that Gary scored, which was 3. We need to find out how many 3s are in 12. So we have 1 3, 2 3s are 6, 3 3s are 9, 4 3s are 12. So therefore we can now see that there is 1, 2, 3, 4 3s in 12, which means as Gary scored one of them, he scored 1/4 of the total number of points.